Somewhere in Smallville, 5-year-old Clark Kent sits on a swing, and his father reminds him, "Whatever man you grow up to be, Clark, good or bad, is gonna change the world." Somewhere, I am still 12 years old in a hospital bed, and my aunt is still coaxing olive oil into my skin. She puts her hand on my forehead and said, "When you get through this, you'll have a testimony, a divine story." And each time she says it, I swallow it whole. This body couldn't digest anything, but I hoped her words were different. Hope they could be some dream this body could fight for, and years later now, I'm sitting on a girl's bed. Bones sturdy, well-filled, and blood thick with premonition. She asks me what my favorite animal is, and I spew out the hospital bed. Quick trigger. I lift my shirt to show her my battle scars, and I tell her Superman could lift this whole planet if he tried. Could run faster than a speeding bullet. Could fill a room with hope with just his smile. And if you ask me about my mightiest moment, my sister would speak of the night when I showed her my superpower, right in my chest, through a thin layer of my skin there, my heartbeat, peeking out through my ribs. Oh, how I could drag a beautiful mortality into a room. A reminder of how a rib cage isn't much a cage at all, how the heart can leap out of a body just to prove it still exists, just to prove it was never a weak thing to begin with. Look, some days this thing would beat so loud and so sure it would force me to reach out for anything and get back a handful of my dreams, tangible in my palms. Here's a story for you. I was born in rain and fire, a mother too coy to be tamed, a father too inferno to hold on to anything, and right in the pits of my gut I got this inheritance. In the winters of this body, it tries to burn everything just to keep me warm, and in the summers it is an ignition, a catapult. I swear I can fly some days, and my cape sometimes has lunch on it, and other days it flutters behind me as I dart through this light. As I shimmy through all the work that's left to be done, I know these arms can't lift anything, and I don't have an S on my chest, just a bulge. Just a persistent prophecy, just a promise that keeps swinging. All I have is a night left on repeat, where I'm laying in a girl's bed, in a flammable room. And yes, strawberries and the 7 o'clock sun pairs well with any type of jazz. And yes, I'm making jokes now about not being able to poet, not being able to craft the tales that I admire. And this girl, look, this girl breathes in the space in between these arms, puts her ear right up against my chest and listens softly and says, "I can hear it dancing in the distance."